Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Ronnie Budge. I'm a member of the Residents Council. Unfortunately, Deanna has COVID, and she asked me to substitute for her. But what I'm mostly going to do is read the remarks that she would have delivered herself had she been here, although I may insert a few of my own. So, here are Deanna's June remarks. Last month, the theme of the fireside chat was gratitude. Borrowing from them, I would like to extend my gratitude primarily to all of you as well. I have been living at Horizon House for 4.5 years, on the council for 2.5 years, and president for 1.5 years. And I never stop being awed by all the volunteers who keep Horizon House running. Over these 4.5 years, you have all had to deal with a great deal. In addition to the loss of many of our friends, we battled COVID and then the news of the West Tower. Battling that. Both causing changes in our lives and uncertainty about the future. Unexpected and extraordinary times for us, but isn't the unexpected always extraordinary? Your perseverance, creativity, and hard work in view of all this is inspiring and makes us unique among retirement communities. You come up with ways to stimulate, educate, and entertain us. We should all be proud of what we accomplish here. Our committees can satisfy all interests and tastes, introduce us to new friends and ideas, and keep our uncertain future at bay. So, thank you for all you do, and thank you to Horizon House staff for all the support you give us every day. Now a word about committees. For new residents and residents who haven't gotten involved yet, resident council committees are open to all residents. You can join a committee at any time by calling the leader of the committee listed on Horizon House Connect, which has the most current information. And Deanna adds, by the way, if committee chairmanships change, please notify your coordinator, your residence council coordinator, or Deanna, and not Emily. Deanna will inform Emily. If you sign up to join, you are signing up to participate in the committee's work and not to just be a spectator. For example, if you were to sign up for the Sunday Musicale Committee, you would attend meetings with committee members to help choose the programs and help with whatever other work is needed to present them to the residents. If you haven't done so yet, look in the program book and see if something interests you, and then call the leader. You will be added to their list and get notifications of meetings. If you're not quite ready to work, feel free to drop in on any program presentation. No sign-up is necessary to attend any program. Obviously, though, we need working committee members or there would be no programs. This is actually what differentiates us from other communities who have activity directors and significant fewer activities. So we need you. And here I'd like to insert a remark of my own. And this is really directed to those of you who are newer residents. When I first came to Horizon House, I hardly knew what to do with myself, and I was feeling a little lonely. And then my mentor invited me to a tea, and I asked, what can I do to make new friends? And they said, do two things. One is to join the activities in the gym, just participate in some gym classes, and the other is to join some of the interest groups, the committees. And I did both of those things, and they were right. That was how I made many, many good friends here. So pick something that is of interest to you that you've always done, or maybe something that is brand new to you. I mean, I joined the flower committee, and I figured, well, at least I can pour water in the vases, if nothing else. But I've learned to arrange flowers, and it makes me proud to have that new skill. So I'd encourage you to do it for you and not just for Horizon House. Now, going back to Deanna's notes, there will be no formal sign-up period. I'm sorry, there will be a formal sign-up period as well as just calling the leaders a bit later in the year, but you need not wait till then, so go for it. Moving on, she says, June is here, and with it some sunshine and sunny Monday. For those of you who are new to Horizon House, you may be wondering what Sunny Monday is. For many years, Betty Wagner was the coordinator of a gathering of residents each Monday from 5 to 6 p.m., starting in June and ending the end of August on the D-level terrace in the West Wing. Residents bring food to share and their own drinks and enjoy the garden and their neighbors. I want to thank Betty for making this a wonderful event year after year. Betty has, yes. Where are you, Betty? Can you stand up? Thank you very much. Betty has done her share here, including being president of the council in 2008, but Betty was ready to retire. Gratefully, Sue and Jerry Haas have stepped up and have continued the tradition. That's how it works here. Thank you so much, Sue and Jerry. This year, the first Monday, weather was not very pleasant, so the leaders decided to try it in the Fireside Lounge. We had a large crowd, and as they say, a good time was had by all. If you haven't been before, come on down next Monday. And again, I want to add something here. Again, some of you may feel a little bit shy about going on down, thinking you don't know anybody and you don't want to just kind of, how are you going to fit in? We have greeters. Greeters will welcome you, will maybe escort you to a table, introduce you to a few people, and don't feel like you have to make fancy hors d'oeuvres. Some of us, myself very much included, bring a bag of pretzels or a hunk of cheese and some crackers, and that's it. So much as we appreciate the fancy hors d'oeuvres, the other simpler food is appreciated as well. Okay, going on. In addition to Sunny Monday, summer is the time that the nominating committee starts the search for candidates for the Residents' Council. Candidates are nominated by other residents or themselves, and the committee of 5 volunteers interviews them and chooses 5 candidates who, if elected, will serve 3 years each. Candidates should be able to serve for 3 years, participate in meetings, use email, work with the committees they are assigned to coordinate, and be here most of the year. These are not honorary positions. They require some work. However, if you are nominated and accept a position, you will find it very interesting work and learn much about the inner workings of Horizon House and the operations of the many resident-run committees here. Party committees, that is entertainment party, that kind of party committees have taken a hit with the loss of leadership. Gratefully, Gary Fuller, a new resident here, has taken on the responsibility of the summer picnic. You'll be hearing from him in a few minutes. I want to stress that you do need to sign up to attend the picnic as soon as reservations open up, because it does sell out. If you would like to help with the picnic, contact Gary. And we still need a leader for the New Year's Eve party. If you're interested, please contact Deanna and Lynn Demerit. Brian Carr and Deborah Brain have volunteered to lead the Halloween party. Again, we have renamed the Employee Recognition Fund to the Residents' Council Employee Gift Fund to avoid confusion between the council and staff fundraisers. Some residents were not aware that our fund is strictly supported by residents and to have confused it with the Partners in Caring Endowment, the bake sale, the Employee Emergency Fund, and the other efforts of staff to support each other. We, the residents, do our own thing. We need a new leader for the gift fund. It involves about 3 months of effort in September, October, and November, when the bulk of the donations come in and have to be processed to be distributed at the Christmas party. We have workers. We need someone who is willing to step up this year, learn the ropes from Sam Sperry, and take over the lead next year. It has been a well-organized effort with lots of documentation and support. Please let Deanna know if you are interested. And she has an important reminder. Tipping employees is not permitted by residents, and staff members are not permitted to accept tips. Tipping staff can result in consequences for them, so we ask you to please not put them in that position. Consider donating whatever you might give in tips to the Employee Gift Fund, and the gifts will be distributed to all employees at the end of the year. And now, Erica Thrash-Saul, our CEO.
Good afternoon, everyone. So good to see you all today. We certainly miss Deanna, but Ronnie did a wonderful job informing us and bringing Deanna's words to life. So I just have a couple of bright spots. No big news to share. The only thing I want to say up front is do not forget that today is the Bistro Farmers Market, not to be confused with our Friday Farmers Market. So we get 2 farmers markets this week. So please, when you leave here, head on over to the Bistro and see if they've got some fresh produce for you. So I want to also kind of just share a little bit about something that the staff members are doing that mirrors what residents are doing. I really appreciated the efforts of Deanna just saying we need to make sure that we are getting new leadership and new participation in our committees. That is what makes us who we are. And so I started to think a lot about that as a leader. How we bring employees into the organization, how they become socialized, how they make relationships. So that is something that we are doing with new administrative level employees, where when they come into the organization, we're saying, what committee do you want to serve on? We're not waiting for them to figure it out over the years, but we're nudging, assigning, and encouraging them right off the bat to get involved in our employee-related committees. For the same reasons. It connects you, makes you have a deeper connection with Horizon House. It helps you meet people that might not be in your department, and it just, helps you understand the Horizon House experience a lot more. So thank you for residents for continuing to lead and giving employees ideas about how we can be stronger. So in terms of bright spots, how many of you attended the staff scholarship celebration on May 23rd? By a show of hands. Wonderful. That was a phenomenal event. I got to see the pictures. I wasn't here, but I got a chance to see the pictures. I think it was so wonderful for us to be able to celebrate. Residents have done a tremendous amount of work in supporting our Partners in Caring program in terms of that staff scholarship and opening it up to families. And so being able to see people and being able to experience people who are the benefactors of it, I think was great. There were staff across several departments who've used the program, from assisted living to facilities, dining services, life enrichment, renovations, HR, and many more. I think we were doing a much better job in marketing that opportunity. We had the annual Parkinson's Walk. We had lots of residents who attended that and a few staff members at Mirabella. I think we gave a good Horizon House showing in spite of some inclement weather. It was a good opportunity for us to be seen. It's important for us to connect with the greater community and extend, who we are as givers and contributors and volunteers outside of Horizon House, so people know who we are. So thank you for all who participated in that. Our leadership team also started to do some more volunteering. So last week, our leadership team volunteered at Atlantic Street Center. Atlantic Street Center is one of 13 organizations that received a grant in 2024 from Horizon House via the board's Community and Relations Diversity Committee. The leadership team helped to beautify their grounds, and they planted flowers, did some weeding, and pressure washing. And so we hope to continue to do things like that. Where Horizon House is supporting an organization, we want to support it with our time and get to know those organizations a little bit better, in hopes that, if those organizations can also be a service of some of our team members or their families, we have a direct connection. We also hope that strengthening our relations with some of these organizations will give us access to their board of directors so that we can continue talking about Horizon House and create a more diverse resident community. Want to give you a bit of an update with the West Tower. We are doing great. I have to say, we started our reservation deposit on April 1st. As of today, I think it says 45, I think as of yesterday. We might be even a little bit more than that, but we have 45 reservation deposits, meaning people who have put 10% down. And it is interesting, this is really going well. Not only do we have the people who've actually committed, we have many more in the pipeline, people who are telling their friends about Horizon House, but it really is a lot of the same spirit of people that we have living here currently, where they want to live amongst friends, they want to participate, they want to live at Horizon House. To be very honest with you, not necessarily because of the units, but because they want to be a part of this community. So it's been really exciting to see. Just as a reminder, we need 70% or 142 units deposited by September 30th of 2025. And so we are well on our way, but please tell your friends, have them come in, have them take a look. Well, I will tell, we do think that that's going to be the case too. We're going to have a lot of the folks who are looking at the West Tower, they don't want to wait. Yeah, they don't want to wait. It's a long time. So we expect to, even through all of our master planning, we'll have a pretty full campus. And that's our goal. And for the master planning, just to give you an idea of where we are with our assisted living amenity spaces, construction is underway. We have the progress posters on assisted living 2 and 3 and in the B1 hallway near the sales office. So if you want to see what's happening behind, those, doors or partitions, please take a look and you'll be able to see what we have going on. We have plugged through, like all construction projects, there's always barriers where, you've got to go back and do something different. I know now they've got a small, very, very small delay where they have to try to prove that they don't need a grease trap up there. So there's always something, but they are moving forward. Same thing with the access control project. Many of you I know have seen them working on it, see them doing, everything from making sure that all of our doors have the card access strikes. We did have a bit of a delay on that as well due to an electrician strike, but the work is still moving forward. They found different ways to work and move forward. There's a migration of 49 surveillance cameras that are almost complete with that project. And then the installation and programming of door locks will begin in late June. And so this is, again, if you remember, we are doing this because we want to make sure our system works. The system we had was older and we were struggling to get parts, and it wasn't very efficient. In case we had any breaches, we weren't able to quickly figure out the doors that were breached. They weren't linked to the cameras. Now we'll have that capability and help to make our campus safer. Also I hope that everybody has seen the Blackbird art collection, our newest collection. Has everybody seen that? I'm looking at some phenomenal. Thanks to Danny Carr, she helped us with that acquisition. It's, near the library. Please, when you have visitors, take them around. It's a huge art collection, and it's so wonderful. We're going to have a presentation on Thursday, June 20th, this Thursday at 3:30 p.m. where you'll be able to hear a little bit more. And I think it's the son of the artist that's going to speak, which I'm really excited. And if you come to that, you will get to attend our resident reception, which is going to be right after it. So this will be a nice time for us to talk art, admire the art, meet a family member of the artist, and just have some fellowship afterwards. I will also want to put a plug. I mean, like I said, Danny worked quite a bit of time. Many of you know and probably were a part of that, especially if you're in the art committee. But if you have art or know of other collections, please keep Horizon House in mind. We love art, and we need more of it, especially for the West Tower. One of the things that we have made crystal clear to all of our designers, we don't want any hotel-esque type art in our building. That is not who we are. Art is a big part of our life here, but it doesn't happen by accident. So, if you've got some things in storage or your personal collection that you just, could part ways with, even on loan, please think about it. We will take art as a bequest. But if you also know people, you have friends who I'm sure have beautiful collection, and let's say their kids or their grandkids are kind of lukewarm and they don't understand what they have. That art will be well loved and well taken care of and admired here at Horizon House. So please help us, in acquiring more art. I wanted to also let you know we are excited. We have a new director of sales that's going to be starting on next Monday, the 24th. His name is Don Warfield. He is going to be helping us with all of our sales efforts, not just the West Tower, but the entire campus. Don has, a great deal of experience in sales. He has sold on First Hill. A long time ago, he worked at Skyline. So he's familiar with our neighborhood, very enthusiastic, and he cannot wait to be a part of this Horizon House community. So if you see Don, I'll make sure he gets introduced. One of the things that is important for us with the onboarding, especially of the sales team, is that they get to know the residents. They really get to understand what life is like here so that they can share that with prospective, future residents. And so we'll be talking to some of you. We're going to make sure that he gets down to Monday Market to understand that's the lifeblood of Horizon House. We'll be talking with other people on Residents Council so that he has some strong resident connections on day one. Don will be a part of one of our committees. We're going to ask him to join the Community Relations and Diversity Committee and participate in some of our ad hoc committee meetings as well. Because again, important part of Horizon House is making sure that we have a diverse resident base. We want to make sure that Director of Sales understands from residents how important that is. And then lastly, the fireside chat is going to be on June 28th, so we look forward to seeing you there. He is not related to Lori. But thank you for clearing that up right away. All right, I am going to turn it over to Ruth-Anne in philanthropy.
Hello, good afternoon, everybody. So nice to be here. My name is Ruth-Anne, and I work in the philanthropy department. I'm here today to announce our awarded spring enrichment grants and let you know about the fall deadline, which is September 5th. Enrichment grants are projects within Horizon House that enrich the lives of residents or staff. $25,000 is available for the next grant cycle. This project is funded by Partners in Caring. Special thanks to our Resident Enrichment Grant Committee who reviews and votes on all of the grants. The first step in the application process is to talk to me about your idea. We will walk through your project and just make sure that it's a good fit for enrichment grants. And I want you to write a successful application, and I'm always a champion for everyone's work, and I just want you to be successful. And the first step is just to chat about it. My contact information is on HH Connect and in the phone book. I'll let you know. Dorothy said, what are some of the grants? I'll let you know. So here are the awarded enrichment grants from this spring. So a live stream of the Chamber Music Society Summer Festival. This will be available here in Anderson Hall and some other ways. So a license was purchased to be able, for Horizon House residents to be able to see the music, and that's coming up in July. Portable ballet bars for wellness, and a program for a pianist to come in to do a program. And this project especially is so special. It will be taught by Deborah, and she has special training in these types of movement classes that use a pianist and a ballet bar. So be on the lookout for those, and I believe those will be announced pretty soon. Printer for the resident computer room, labels for assisted devices for assisted living. As you know, when there's a parking lot of assisted devices, sometimes it's hard to identify whose is whose. So labels will help with that. Snack and beverage carts for assisted living. The blood pressure machine is an enrichment grant, which is outside the massage room on B1. And that was placed, I believe, last month. And a button maker for assisted living. And this is just to make buttons. And if any resident committee needs to use that, you can always you can ask Life Enrichment to borrow theirs. And here are some photos of past grants. So iPads for the Monday market to help pricing items. This is Joyce Greenwood and a photo from a light dance. This was a project by Brian Carr. And I show this photo just to remind everyone that the grants don't have to be physical items. They can be events also. And this is a quilting machine for the sewing room. And also this is something for the resident committees to think about, resident activity groups to think about if you have any needs within your group, that and think about the enrichment grant funding source for needs for your group. This enrichment grants can be a couple $100s to several $1,000s. And fanny packs were awarded for assisted living staff to help to place items to make their day a little bit easier. And as a reminder, grants can be for residents or staff to just enrich their lives. So it's just making their work day a little bit easier. And that's all I have. And I'll introduce Karen Perret for approval of the minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, Ruth-Anne. I don't think I need the lectern to say that the minutes of the May 14th general meeting of the Residents' Council have been circulated, corrected, and will stand approved as circulated unless there are any further corrections. Thank you. I guess I have to press the button, huh? Okay, thank you.
Oh, yeah, okay. Things are going along as we anticipated, although the Budget Committee will be meeting in the next week or two to do some revisions that have come up, assuming that there's not a COVID going around among the Budget Committee. The thing that I just want to tell you, and this is where we need all your support, is we now have 25 people that have moved because of the expansion, or the West Wing, which means we have 25 empty apartments, and we will have 26 empty apartments, a total of 51 by the time the construction begins. So our base for customers has been whacked by 10, depending on how many people in an apartment, by 10 or 15%. So I encourage you to invite your friends to come and shop at Monday Market, to see what wonderful item that you need in your apartment, and it's down there at an incredible price. So that's, we need your help to keep supporting the market, and because that's our source for all these wonderful things. And I can only say amen to everything that Deanna wrote about my appreciation for all the effort that you all made. So with that, I will turn it over to, is Jennifer here? There she is.
Thank you, Karen. Need my glasses. So it's, thank you. The last Monday market report to the Resident Council General Meeting was delivered on May 21st. Since then, it was decided that market report should be by month rather than the time span between meetings. Thus, today I will summarize the market earnings for the month of May. Some of the figures included come from last month's report, or last time report. So the total deposit for May was $6,484. No. Employee purchases continue to average $1,000 a month. Despite the large print on notices by the donation bins, people continue to leave books in the Monday market bins. I asked the library directors as to the expected process, and this is it. Quote, "Do not donate books directly to the Monday market. All books are to be taken to the library donation drawer. If you have more than 10 books, call Judy Klein or Pam Daly, and they will come to your apartment." As we often say, volunteers are the backbone of the market. We have a loyal crew, but stuff happens, and we experience unexpected vacancies. Especially at this time of year, people have vacations or they go regularly to their second home. This is a plea for volunteers to act as substitutes, as well as those who are willing to dedicate 2 hours of work a week to the market. We will provide training as needed. So the sort of things that we need people for, and that's always helpful to have substitutes for, are going to the bins 3 times a day to pick up the things that have been donated. One person doesn't have to go 3 times a day, but we do that. The market goes 3 times a day to pick up items. There's also the processing that happens, whether that's looking up the price of similar items or using the little tag gun and putting the prices on clothing or other items. And then, of course, there's the 2-hour stints on the sales floor, where that may be in the electronics department or the menswear, women's wear, or in the many household items. So those are just examples of the kind of volunteer jobs that we have. And Elizabeth has agreed to be out in the fireside lounge after this and talk with anybody who might be interested. So if you are, please stop by and chat. So Sunday's lunch will have the added dessert of 2 models showing off Monday market attire. And next Monday, there will be a capital letters clearance. So please attend. And next, we have the first of the spotlights. Peter Shapiro will talk about the election form.
So hello, everybody. It's been a while since I've been at this podium, and good to see you from this perspective. It's wonderful. Thank you, Ronnie, for the nice introduction. Thank you, Deanna, for making this happen. Where's the camera? Wave to up there somewhere. Okay, Deanna, be well. So, Peter Shapiro is my name. I don't have my tag. Shame on me. Okay. Now, pundits, particularly the business reporters, have been calling this the year of elections. That's a pretty snappy title, isn't it? The year of elections. But they're referring to the fact that there are major elections going on all around the globe, and many of them will result in significant change. But regardless of what may happen elsewhere, we have a big role in setting local policy for Washington State and for our communities. So here's a quick rundown of what we'll vote on this year. 9 statewide offices will be on the ballot, 9. And topped by the race for our next governor. We are going to have a next governor because the current one is not running. Locally, we have a competitive race for a citywide seat on the city council, Seattle City Council. And we'll choose a new person to represent us in Olympia. This is the first time that, we're faced with this situation. Frank Jopp, who served for many, many years and was Speaker of the House for a lot of it, has decided not to run, so we will have a new representative. So that's another key race that you should be aware of. And there will be initiatives on the fall ballot, many of them, at least 3. There are others circulating for signature, so who knows how many we'll have. But we begin with the primary election in early August, and your election forms committee has decided to cover these 6 races. July 1st is the kickoff. We'll hear from candidates for Secretary of State and the Commissioner of Public Lands. So the Secretary of State is responsible, as I expect you know, for our elections. And there are issues there. Should we continue, and one of the contestants for the seat has raised the question, should we continue all mail balloting? Or revert to a system of in-person voting on election day with limited absentee ballots? Another issue, how do we protect against election interference and the spread of misinformation? The second office that is on the forum on July 1st is the Commissioner of Public Lands. This office is responsible for the management of our state forests and our public waterways. Think about forest fires and the health of our water ecology and fisheries. On July 8, we will hear from the candidates for the 2 local races that I mentioned before, Seattle City Council and the new state representative. How do they propose to deal with tough issues such as homelessness? July 15 is the last of the committee's primary election series before the ballots are mailed. This forum will bring us candidates for the Superintendent of Public Education and Insurance Commissioner. Proposed school closures have certainly been headline news recently. Can the superintendent, whoever that may be, help solve those problems? Decisions by the Insurance Commissioner can affect people directly as consumers on issues such as health care, property insurance, and actuarial practices for retirement communities like Horizon House. Of those 6 races, candidates who are some of them will be here in person, and that's for the local elections. And the rest will be coming to us via the magic of Zoom when there are candidates who are well outside the orbit of Seattle. as far as Spokane and southwest Washington. So the first 3 Mondays are the forums. They're all starting at 7:30 p.m. in the evening. You can watch the action here in Anderson Hall or at home on channel 370. We know that you care about who the political leaders will be for our state in 2025 and who will represent us in Olympia and City Hall. We know that because Horizon House has historically been one of the highest voting precincts in the state. Last fall, the turnout from Horizon House was double the state average. I've seen the figures as high as 85% turnout of registered voters in our precinct. Ballots will be mailed on July 17, and that's just 4 weeks and a day from now. I'll stay around at the conclusion of this meeting. I'd be happy to talk to you further about all of what I just talked about, what's coming up, and plans for the work to be done, to answer questions. And as Deanna's message said, we need committee members. Matter of fact, there's going to be room at the top in the Election Forums Committee next year. Now, what does that mean? Well, you think about it. Come and talk to me. I'll be here. Thank you very much. And Peter will now announce the next speaker, who is Gary Ford. Gary will be talking about the picnic. Thank you, Ronnie.
Thank you so much, Peter. Well, we're all inviting you to a cruise on the Love Boat at this year's summer picnic. We'll have a slightly larger boat than this. Actually, the Love Boat is going to dock right here at Horizon House on the D-level terrace on Thursday, September 5th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. So you won't have to pack. You won't have to take a trip to the airport and wonder when your cancel flight's going to be rescheduled. You simply have to put on your best cruise gear, take the elevator down to the Love Boat. Fun seekers from last year. You know, every retirement community always has pictures of retirement people having fun. Well, we do have fun. So we want to make sure that everyone knows that they're invited to this. The summer picnic crew is preparing a memorable event for all of our Horizon House passengers. More fun seekers. There will be great food and music. I'll have more information about the menu and the pricing soon that'll be distributed and available in the alert and on HH Connect. Reservations will open the first week in August. Come on board as a single passenger or create a group booking for all of your friends and neighbors. We want everyone to attend, but as mentioned earlier, we have a limit of seating on the D terrace. We've figured out that you can get 200 people out there if everybody sits close together and smiles. So we want to make sure that everybody who wants to come gets their reservations in. So think about your plans right now. And I thank you for Deanna's message about gratitude. I am incredibly grateful. I am new to Horizon House, and I have about 15 new friends on the picnic crew, and they're doing the work. I'm just trying to control the madness, but they've been incredibly helpful with suggestions on how to make the picnic a better event for everybody here in the organization. So trust me, I'm in good hands because you're in good hands with them. So I appreciate all of your help in getting this event scheduled. And next, I'd like to welcome Ann Kelly, who's going to answer burning questions for us.
Thank you, Gary. This month, we had an interesting question, important question submitted. How many quilts has Horizon House donated over a 1-year period? As you know, there are women down, and maybe men too, as far as I know, down in the sewing room, very busy. And last season, I should say, the 2023 season, they donated a series of 35 quilts. And these went to 3 different places: Mary's Place, Youth Care, and Plymouth Housing. Then in addition, they donated a number of pajamas and hats, scarves, and mittens. Really, it's an amazing total of work. So I think we all appreciate what goes into that kind of handiwork. Thank you. I will be out in the lounge inviting more questions today after the meeting. And next is Deanna Nelson.
Deanna in disguise. Are there any questions, other questions that anybody has? No? Yes, go ahead, Joan. Oh, we need a mic.
Thank you. How many elevator notices do you think that we have up each year? 11. We have 11 elevators and 4 announcements for one day and 4 for the other, times 365 days. So that's a lot of elevator notices. In order to save paper, which we've been trying to do here with our electronic billboard and so forth, I put together a little stacks in a in a card out there. And I hope you'll take a little pile to use in your printer. Now, people who put paper in a little box in the residence services room by the big copy machine, sometimes put it in with staples, 3-hole punches, Scotch tape, upside down, and that's not useful. So the best thing to put there is elevator notices. They're nice and crisp. So please take some, because the pile was getting up sky high. Wasn't it, Risa? Thank you.
Thank you, Joan. Are there any other questions or remarks? Yes, Bill.
Linda Merritt wanted everybody to know that the new printer is being installed in the computer room this afternoon. It also receives a thumb drive, so if any of you want to go down there with a thumb drive and print something, you're going to be able to do it.
Any other questions or comments or remarks or whatever? Yes, Anne Marie. Oh, Anne Marie was concerned that the blackbird art that we're going to have a reception and talk about is gone, except I hear that they have been recently reinstalled. Oh, that is in the hallway leading to one of the Terry Street exits, the one just across from the library. Any other questions, comments, remarks? If not, I will remind you that there will be several people representing various committees out in the fireside lounge. Doris will be there representing dining services. She always welcomes your remarks, comments, praises, criticisms, whatever having to do with dining services. Communications Committee. Is there anybody here from Communications who will be out there to hear your concerns or questions? I know Bill is on vacation, Bill Corriston. I guess not. But Mike, are you going to be out there for the Safety Committee? Mike Gould will be out there if you have any concerns about safety, emergency procedures, etc. Monday Market will, Elizabeth Hoover will be there to tell you all about how you can volunteer at Monday Market. And Peter Shapiro said that he will be there. Oh, you'll be right here. Peter will be in this room to tell you more about the elections forum. And am I hearing something else that needs to be brought up? Nope. Okay. Thank you all. Meeting's adjourned.